If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to jump back to the previous episode to listen to the first half of this conversation. Come back here for part 2.
Welcome to the Building Doctor Show with Jens Johansson.
Okay, let's see. We've got a couple of Q&As that were sent to us between shows. So, and then we got live Q&A right after this. So if you're thinking of something, get it in the Q&A. Okay, so first question comes. I'm buying a house and the inspection turned up a long list of problems, like a 30-year-old boiler that's now a safety hazard. Yeah, boilers are a big pressure tank, and so they can blow up. Cracks in the foundation that my realtor dismissed. But the inspector flagged right down in the basement. Drainage issues, unsafe electrical setup. So I know some of these are fixable, but it's adding up fast. How do you know when to negotiate, when to investigate further, and when it's time to walk away? So this is a single-family home inspection question. We're really focused on HOAs today, but your agent should absolutely be helping you negotiate some of these issues. But the rest, I mean, this list is getting long. I hope you love the home. If you love the home, it's worth it in the long run. But there's more homes out there. And so it becomes a business decision. But this answer that I just gave, it's actually good insight into what your condo buyers are thinking. So like, why are my dues so high? Why do I have these pending assessments? Why do I have all this? Why isn't this building maintained well? There's more 2-bedroom, 2-bath condos in any town, USA. Why don't I just go on the street? What is so special about this place? And so if you have a special place because it's been maintained, because it's been well taken care of, because the board is active, because the meeting minutes are full of, here's how we're addressing this issue, this issue, this issue. And so, yeah, then people want to say, I really want to be in that building and not in these other ones that are second, third choice. And I'll, pay some extra on dealing with that. But I wish you well on this big list. Hopefully you got some of that fixed. But your agent is the one that should be going back for you and not dismissing foundation cracks. Oof. Okay, next question. Our HOA has had repairs, maintenance, and reserve studies done over the years. What documents should we be organizing now to satisfy insurance inspection requirements, and how do we fill in the gaps if we're missing some history? Yeah, so these requirements are new and they're varied. As you can see, we have 3 big names, and they're all kind of, one's more restrictive. It's the Goldilocks. This policy is too restrictive, or this requirement is too heavy duty, and this one isn't just right. So Goldilocks didn't work. But anyway, you can see the spread. And so get those and then see if that report you have, or, several reports and documents would cover it. And I think the mildest one and even the medium one will probably be covered by a good reserve study, or definitely a building envelope inspection, maybe with the caveat that, hey, we didn't get the MEP, you didn't look at, come turn the faucets on, come turn the heater on, come make sure the panel isn't missing cover blanks and things like that. And how much more would you charge for a few pages added to the report? Pretty minimal. Or call us and we'll do a quick visual inspection and handle those items. Like I said, we did in the other one. Here's your visual inspection price. For $100 more, we'll check off all these other things because we're already out there. We're already set up, we're already on site. And, there's 2 inspectors on site, and one of us in between various appointments will be able to get in and look at these other things, basically incidentally. So, but gathering those documents and organizing them, that is just warms my heart how you say that. So good job on getting that stuff done. Okay, on to the Q&A. Let me go into the Q&A. Does droning violate privacy laws? Our insurance has threatened to drop us based on a drone flying over the roof. What if we can't get it fixed before their deadline? Will we just not be able to be insured with anyone? Yeah, 3 or 4 questions there. And yeah, I hear you. We used to have drones, but it got into certified pilots, extra insurance. I don't know about privacy laws, but I have experienced complaints, and I think some of the insurance companies are getting complaints, and this is why they're just saying looks bad to send a drone over. But now, what is that drone able to see? The drone can see the mossy roofs. The drone can't see the paint blisters and so again, it's a weird, I wouldn't be too worried about it unless the roof is so egregious that they can't see the roofing. It's covered in moss and it's green. So, get a roof cleaning. What if you can't get it fixed before their deadline? That's a real question. And again, hey, we've got 2 weeks left. We have a plan in place. Give us a little more time. Like I said before, what we've done is we've actually written a letter. Hi, we're the project managers or the engineers or the consultants on the project. They're working through this. Then a manager will write a letter. They need 30 days to get their loan approved or whatever they're doing. And the next board meeting is X. And so we've seen the insurance company say, fine, we'll give you a 60-day, extension. We're not going to write you another year policy, but we'll give you 30 days, 60. They've been fairly reasonable. They're taking your money, right? So what they're wanting to do is get done. We do have, I'd say 2 to 3 clients that either don't have insurance or have been denied or have their insurance rates 5x. And so an amazing amount of, going from 100,000 a year to 450,000 a year. And so it's like, whoa. So that puts extra stress on and obviously money on, but we've seen clients pinned in the corner saying, I can't get insurance or it's going to be 5x more. And so let's not get there. Let's work like crazy to make sure that we're staying ahead of the game and staying on top of this stuff. Because we are seeing it happen, and it's time to take care of some of this stuff. And so what is the insurance company worried about? Why are they denying you? And if your building looks like some of the pictures I showed you, okay, we got to get that fixed. So, but it's a tough spot to be. So good question. Should the insurance company approve of an inspector to make sure it qualifies for the requirements? Good question. I don't know. Kind of gets into maybe they will, but I think it's simple enough that they don't need to create an industry out of it. They have to regulate that. They have a lot of regulation about their preferred vendors, such as contractors that go in to fix a fire, fix a flood. There's all sorts of that. Some insurance companies have in-house adjusters. Some use out-house adjusters. So if I were the insurance company, I wouldn't make a whole new industry of insurance inspectors. I would just do these lists and say, make sure and maybe I define the qualifications of what makes an inspector. Obviously this is the work we do all day and it's a lot of building envelope. But that's where we were kind of getting into the nuance of what are they asking out of the mechanical, electrical, plumbing people? Are they asking you to be licensed and a journeyman and all this stuff? Or are they just asking for somebody to look at it with trained eyes and be able to report on it? So we'll see that evolve, I guess. So I would, back to the answer to the question, I would expect them to define it and then say, what is the requirements of it? Next question, can insurance help pay for repairs found during an inspection, or are we on the hook for everything they uncover? This is the Washington State's a little different. They have insurance coverage for hidden damage under your siding. So if you didn't know the damage was there, you pull off the siding and found that damage. There is coverage for third party, or it's not third party. It's wind driven rain or storm events or things like that. And so doing the inspection and pulling off a little siding and finding this hidden damage, it may help. If your policy is correct and you've paid your premiums, you may have an insurable event there. But paying for maintenance, paying for moss removal, No, they're not going to do that. I can pretty much guarantee you that. So, okay. Fourth one. What is recommended interval for regular maintenance inspections, such as building envelope? The regular maintenance on siding and things like that. We have a maintenance guide, so you can type in guide in the chat, and Carolyn will get one to you. So spring and fall, every 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and it kind of depends on component. But we recommend visual inspections, building visual inspections every year or two. You can do it every other year. And again, stick with get with a contractor that gives you, here's 2020s, here's 2022s, here's 2024s, and they have that body of knowledge and can walk you through that and keep the information. So as boards change, as managers change, you're working with a consultant that has the information about your building. If we've ever worked on your building, we're reaching out to our past clients from 19 years ago and saying, hey, we've got information. Are you interested? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. I'm new, and there's been 16 boards since you were here. So that's a good way to stay on that. Your manager should have the information, or past managers should have it, but they may charge you for getting that info. Who knows? So recommended intervals for regular inspections, I'd say every other year. Okay, is there any more questions, or is that it? That is all the questions. So let's move on to that one. And then we have a giveaway. We got cookies and swag and notebooks, and wow, that's a good looking one. Okay, so I'm gonna pick number 5. So number 5 on the sign-in list, we can see how you entered the webinar. Carolyn will reach out to you and say, congratulations, you won the thing. Then we'll get going from there. So thanks for watching that one. Okay, did you know we have additional training for boards and managers? Do you find yourself as a new board, or board members? Are you feeling joining a board and everybody's been on the board for 20 years and I'm new and I got to get caught up? Are you a new manager, new to the industry? So we've got free YouTube. If you like to type, go to learn.j2consultants.com/resources or use the QR code. Free is on YouTube. We've got over 300 videos there. We now have Community Association Institute accredited clock hour trainings for managers and even boards. CAI recommends boards get 2 clock hours of training a year. And so if you're a manager going for your CMCA or your PCAM, you got to do these ongoing education credits, and we now are accredited to give that. So type in training, and Carolyn will get to you from the chat. And then if you want one place to go for all of our stuff, j2consultants.com/learn-more, or use the QR code. Find our guides, our flyers, our YouTubes, our Building Doctor shows, our 1-minute email blogs, all the places you can follow us on social media. So then, again, if you're watching live, thank you. Otherwise, stream this webinar wherever you go. So we're all over the place. And then please do us a big favor. Be sure to rate us 5 stars wherever you hear us. That's our fuel to create more free content for you. So we don't have sponsors. We don't run ads, but if you found something useful, give us a 5-star review. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next month. I think we're talking about funding. So if you're funding a building repair, stay tuned for that. Thank you.
This podcast is part of J2's free live webinar, The Building Doctor Show. To attend the live show and ask your questions during the Q&A, visit www.j2consultants.com.